notification and show up. So I'm here for any questions. I'm on my laptop because I see I have some memberships here and I want to shout them out. Hey, hello. Hey, Pamela. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. So I am here. Let's talk some sweet business. I haven't went live on my channel in a while, so I got some members here on my subscription. So if you haven't took the chance to subscribe, I did open this up, and YouTube is making some changes. I think I seen Linda come in here. Hey, Linda. Making some changes. So I'm trying to go live with just those members because they get those YSC perks. So, and I'm looking at the computer right now, looking at that. Somebody. Hi. So let's talk some sweet business. If you have any questions for me, fire away and I will get to them as soon as I see them. Are y'all ready for the holidays? Are y'all ready for the holidays? No questions? You ready for the holidays? All right now. Okay, somebody got the platinum, and we need to get you into the academy. Yes. Am I ready for the holidays? Nope. I create content all day, every day. I'm ready for them holidays. But far as dinner, I'm ready. I ain't got another choice but to be ready, but yeah. Someone rejoin. Lewis Lemon. Lewis Lemon. If you on here, Lewis Lemon, please send me a message so that you can it should have, I don't know if YouTube sent you the link to the academy, but I see that you got this membership for the academy. I just want to make sure that you get in there. All right. So what's up, people? Let's see you. Let's see. What questions do you have for me? It don't burn my hands anymore. What don't burn your hands anymore, Linda? Ready. Hello, just getting on. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Ro, I have a question. What's the first steps I need to take to open a candy apple store or just to sell desserts? I'm glad someone asked this question. Thank you, LH. So my advice to opening up a store. Let's go there. That was the first question. And then you followed up with or just sell desserts. First off, what is it that you're doing right now? What are the things that is building you up to that point? Is one thing to be in it already and doing it from home, where you already have an overhead to pay for, which is your bills, your lights, your gas. Before you step out of that overhead, you're jumping into a storefront, if that's what you said store. So I'm guessing you meaning a storefront to jump over into another overhead that you're going to be responsible for monthly and more bills on top of your other bills at home. If you don't have the traffic, if you don't have, and you can build up to that, but you got to have a plan. You got to have a plan, you got to have a strategy, and it has to make sense. Okay, you say a storefront. So, where are you at in this industry, in the baking or treat making industry? Where are you at this point? Because it can't, you just can't jump into something. And I was writing as I was trying to finish my book. I'm writing, and something came to me, and I said, in this industry lately, what I've seen, especially on social media, a lot of people don't give their self time to develop. Selling by word of mouth. Okay. A lot of people, and let me know if y'all agree. Comment in the chat if y'all agree. A lot of people that start off in this industry, in baking, treat making, event planning, or whatever, a lot of people I see don't even give themselves time to develop. Everybody wants to be great, like right away. And I don't understand that. Everybody want to be better than somebody else, or everybody trying to outshine somebody else when they've been in the game for a long time. Like, oh, I can do better than you, better than. We got to get rid of that mentality. That's killing the game. Yeah, everybody want to be instant millionaires. Exactly. It's killing the game. It don't look good. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nobody's background to what they're doing. And to develop yourself, you develop the skills. It should be a passion. You should love what you do. But people want, like she said, they want to be instant millionaires, or they want to be instantly viral, or they want to be considered the go-to person. There's been so many people in this industry for years that's doing the same thing, that done it, redoing it. You know what I'm saying? But the mentality of some people is, I'm going to do it and do it better than her. See, when you have a platform, people that has been following you for years know your platform, right? So when you give yourself time to develop, you can look at the things that you need to perfect on, the things that you do best, and the things that you need to perfect on. So when opening a shop, you need to know, are you capable of holding such shop? And why I say that is because every day that you get up out your bed, you put your feet to that pavement, you got to open up them doors, whatever days you have set to be scheduled. Whether it's Monday through Saturday and you run in a shop, you got to look at the supplies. You got to keep inventory up. You got to be marketing. Word of mouth just ain't going to get it. But you got to come up with strategies that's going to keep your business thriving. You're going to keep, and from thriving, you want your business to be successful. So you got to have a plan, and you got to have a purpose to why this business is needed. And that's when a business plan comes in place. Yes, having a shop is no joke, and it can be stressful, especially if you don't have the support and you don't have no help. And it's hard to find good help nowadays. So to me, if you don't have, and this is why I teach like I do, because if you have outgrown one place and you need that space, then by all means, go for it. Because therefore, if you can afford it, Because that overhead, these buildings be running 3 to 4 thousand monthly. The light and gas bill is something else different than your home. You know what I'm saying? So then you're tacking on two bills, two overheads. And if your shop ain't doing what it's supposed to do, and I'm going to tell you, that first year, you're going to be eating up a whole lot of bills. You're going to be eating up a whole lot of bills until it start to grow. Just to say you got a candy apple shop, and that's only if the market is calling for that. Like if it's no place in that area, then you good. But you got to promote and let the people know that you're there to open up such shop. Make sense? You got to have a list for inventory. You got to have a list of vendors that's going to supply your shop. You see what I'm saying? So it has to make sense. It can look good. It can look good on paper. But when you get right into it, it's going to be something totally different. Trust me. I'm helping people right now opening up their shop. And let me tell you, it didn't happen overnight. They took time to develop. And being that they outgrown their space, they're moving into another space that's going to allow them to do more, to make more money. And they're not just doing a candy apple shop. You know what I'm saying? So you have to write down some things. And if it's, I want a calf 2-in-1. Well, that's something good. Yeah. So if it serves a purpose in your community, in the market, meaning if the market is calling for that, meaning there's no place around. We're gonna touch on that. If there's no other place around in that area and you know it's going to do well, then go for it. Don't find a spot right next to your competition. You see what I'm saying? So that don't make no sense either, because then if someone's been there longer than you, if you ain't got something that's going to rock and do something different, don't find a storefront to be next to your competition thinking that you're going to get their customers. Because if they got faithful customers to go to them and you just kicking out, they're going to keep going to the people that they've been going to. So it ain't wise to be parked right next to your competition. And a lot of commercial buildings don't even allow to put competition next to competition. It has to be something totally different. But like you'll find CVS or Rite Aid used to be right across the street from each other. But they same purpose, but they serve something different in there. You can go get something different. But for us as a small business, it wouldn't work. Crystal said, I feel like, before I move on to Crystal's question, comment, LH, does that make sense? Is it okay to sell out my home? If so, how do I do that? Also, can you do delivery so people don't come to my home? So are you new? You new. Okay, so she said, is it okay to sell out my home? That's according to the state. That's if you're in an apartment, let me tell you right now, if you're in an apartment, any type of condominium or something like that restricts you from doing that, it's hard to run a home-based business. It depends on your state. And the only way you can find that out is if you go to your your county building. It just left me that quick. The agriculture. Somebody said it one and the same thing. How can you sell out your home? You got to see if it's allowed. Okay, because if you stand in your home, you own your home or whatever, you got to see if it's allowed in your state to be a home-based baker, because that's what you'll be. a licensed home-based baker. Yeah, thank you, Linda. Department of Agriculture. Yes, the cottage foods law. You got to check your cottage food laws if you have the cottage food laws in your state. Some states don't, but majority of them do. And you have to go according to those laws. Thank you, Alicia. Yes, Department of Agriculture for cottage food. And it may not say that in your state. I know some states say different things, but it's definitely, you got to go to your county building, wherever your Department of Agriculture is at, to check to see if you're allowed. And what happens, like the state of Georgia, you got to check, you got to go to the county, and the county comes out, they have to do an inspection. They do an inspection of your kitchen, of your home. They want to see where your pantry is. They want to see if your personal items is separated from what you cook with. It's a list of things. It is not hard. It's just stuff that you have to do. Oh yeah, well, you know how Georgia is, especially like I know for sure, like in Snellville, the county over there, it's like 2 departments that comes out to inspect, and I don't know if they still doing that, but each county does something different. Each state does something different. So please hear me when I say that. Every state is not the same. Every county is not the same. And they do something different. Okay? First off, you need to register. If you're starting a business, I live in a house, but I rent. Okay? If you rent, you got to make sure that, and I'm going to tell you, a lot of people do it just so they can get started, get ahead, because you got to start somewhere, right? So my suggestions when someone is renting, and see, I wouldn't, and you can do this. If you start your business and you use your address and you're renting, I don't think that's feasible to do, because just say you need to move. You got to change your address. And if you don't have no address and then it ain't good to just, especially if you move a lot. And I'm not saying you do, but I know people that have done this, and they use their address, their home address, and you got to go to your state, change the address, and you keep changing the address of your business. It ain't good. It ain't good. So you really, really have to think this thing through when it comes to starting up your business, because you need to register with your state to get your articles of organization. Okay. Let me go back to her question and then sell at your home. And especially if you rent. So you got to be mindful about that. And if your landlord ain't allowing that, and that you got so much traffic coming to your home, and then your neighbors will get to complain, then they contact the landlord, then you got some problems. Okay? So you got to be careful. I know a lot of people doing it, but this is the real that happens. Okay? This is what it really is. To protect yourself. All right? Is there a way? And now you can also you can rent out a commercial kitchen and do your items from your commercial kitchen. I know in Georgia, there's several commercial kitchens that people go to. If you watched me, a couple of years ago, I went to one with Cookie Nip, and it was amazing. You can rent out that space, however much. You're right, Ro. It takes time. Yeah, definitely takes time. I am 9 minutes away from downtown. Oh, okay. Let me go back to that question. So you can rent out a commercial kitchen. A commercial kitchen has different rates. So according to wherever you find a commercial kitchen, Some churches have commercial kitchens. You can go to a local church and see if they allow you to cook out their kitchen, as long as you pay them if they do something like that. But if you find a prep kitchen, commercial kitchen is your best way to start out. Um, and I know people do it from their home, but if legally you want to go by the paperwork, you want to do it right, that's that's how you go about it. And I'm just throwing some things out there because there's much more to it. Also, can you do delivery? You can deliver. You can go into a commercial kitchen, do your prep work, do your items. Y'all know the crack house in Georgia, the girl that does the candy grapes in Georgia. I met her at the commercial kitchen. She was doing her grapes. All her prep work was done in the commercial kit in the uh, prep kitchen, and she would sell it out her store. She'll go to her store and sell it out her store. You can do the same thing at your house. You can go to a commercial kitchen, sell, do the prep work, and they can, put their orders, and then you can have them pick it up, or you could do the deliveries, but then that's going to be a fee. So it's all about how you set up your business. All right. I'm answering a lot of questions for you, girl. I'm trying to get let me see. Delivery. So people don't come to my home. Yeah, you could do however you want to set up your business is your business. If you don't want people to come to your home and you don't want them to know where you at, well, honey, don't register your home as a business, because then it's public. Okay, so for the people that register their homes as a business, it becomes public if you don't want nobody to know where you stay. All right, so keep that in mind. If you want to use a commercial kitchen, you find somewhere in your area, in your state. Are we there? Find somewhere in your area, in your state, to use a commercial kitchen and do deliveries. It depends on how you want to set up your business. Okay? All right, let's see. The buildings are high. I've seen people fall because they didn't do the research. Come on now. Yes. Because they didn't do the research. They didn't look at the taxes. They're going to have to pay the rent, etc. That is true. A lot of things is in place. You have to put in place. When you get a storefront, you gotta, first off, you gotta build it out. If it ain't together, that's money. The rent, the taxes, and then let's not talk about you're gonna be the employee for some months and months, depending on how you set it up. You gotta have insurance, and then you build out, then your supplies and all of that stuff. It's just not some place where you can just open up and say, I got a shop. And a lot of people is just doing that, but I'm not trying to discourage anybody. But if you're gonna do it right, do it right. Go about it right. It was a few people, I think on my business page, and they was like, oh, well, I've been doing this for years and ain't nobody caught me yet. That's your business. That's your business. Be careful what you say, though. You know what I'm saying? Because, and that's the thing. If you've been low key for all this time and you just been relying on your faithful few and you trying to get big, then be looking to have people more into your business. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're doing it on social media. So when you think they're not looking, they looking. My apologies for not speaking to. Oh, you're fine. I'm new to the channel. Welcome to my channel. And I'm loving it here. Thank you. I appreciate it. I have learned a lot and will be stepping out trying these sugar treats. And that's how you do it. Step out and get it done. You're welcome, LH. Is there a need to have a LLC? As an instructor, I wouldn't say it's a need to have an LLC because I don't necessarily know your need, right? I don't necessarily know a person's need because I don't know the structure of your business. So the structure of your business is like a LLC, a S corp, C corp, or however, or the corporation, your structure that you want to set your business up under. A LLC is a limited liability that protects you from your personal assets. It protects you from if you get sued, from anybody attacking anything that you work so hard for that they can't mess with nothing else but your business. See what I'm saying? So if they come for you, they can only come solely for your business. You should have insurance. But if starting off as a small business, if I could recommend you have LLC, of course. But I don't know your needs because I don't know the structure or the nature of your business. Make sense? A lot of people I say, you got to have LLC. You got to have LLC. I can't tell you what you got to have because I don't know your structure. If I can understand what your structure is and how you want to run your business, a lot of times we start off as a small business. So as a small base business, you want to protect your assets. Okay? So if you want to protect your assets and you're not a corporation, because you can move up to other structures, but if you want to start off LLC, a lot of people start off as a sole proprietorship because you're a small business. But then you go from sole proprietorship into your LLC, which any small business you want to get into a LLC, then you know your structure. You try to protect your assets as you build. As you build, as you grow, if you need to go up to a new structure, you go up to a new structure. All right. Hi, I'm new to the channel. I'm also new to Georgia. Welcome, Peach. I had a college food license in California. If you had it in California, ain't got nothing to do with Georgia. You got to start fresh. Every state is different. Just FYI, every state is different. So what you have in Georgia, what you had in California, because California is something different. Okay, they're a little bit more expensive. So what you need to develop in Georgia, you need to get your paperwork in. Cottage, okay. Once again, every state cottage laws are different. What's allowed in one state may not be allowed in another state. What one state is doing, another state may not be doing. In Michigan, they don't allow you to do caramel apples as a home-based baker. Okay? In other states, you can. And the reason being is because of the piercing of the stick being inserted into the apple. And once you pierce into the apple, now it's exposed. Now it's exposed to all type of stuff. And that's, as a home-based baker, that's the cottage food laws. That's what they think about. And before anybody say, oh, well, they sell caramel apples at the store, of course. But as a home-based baker, as a cottage food baker, they don't allow it in certain states. That's why I stopped selling apples years ago, because it wasn't allowed. And then as a cottage food baker, you're only allowed to make so much money in a year. I heard that it raised in some states, but cottage food law bakers are only allowed to make a certain amount of money a year. Okay. Hey, just asking the question again because it is all the way at the top. Thank you. Do you think that it is important to have a social media presence or being a content creator to, this is a great question, to be successful in your business? I'm gonna read this question again. Crystal, her question was, do you think that it is important to have a social media presence or being a content creator to be successful in your business? Um, so what you just asked is, you got a difference there. A content creators where they're creating content on a day-to-day basis. That's what they do. Um, and as a content creator, um, you're doing different things on different platforms. So you're building a presence, not only to showcase your work, but you got to have some type of purpose. And this is just from my opinion, because this content creator came out some years ago, um, because everybody's trying to do it and think that's what they need to do to build a business. No, I mean, it helps, but it's a difference. It's a difference than being a content creator, than have building a social media presence. So if your business need to build, if you want your business to build a social media presence, then you do that by posting consistently on your platforms. And those platforms you have to manage. So if you have a nail shop, you don't have to be a content creator to to have a social media presence, but as a content creator you have a social media presence because that's what you're doing. That's actually your job that you do. That's what I do. Okay, not only am I a baker, and an educator, I am a content creator. I'm a YouTuber, and I've been doing this since 2015. And that's all I do. When I was still a nurse, I was managing of so much, but and then I was baking, and I couldn't do both. If I don't have a team, I can't do both. So it's important to have a team. But as being small content creators, you got to have a plan with doing a lot of these things. So when I post by planning. If it's something, if I got a window, in like a window space, then I can shoot out a like that boat tutorial. Knowing I was working on something else, I shot out a boat tutorial because I had so many questions about it. Then I'm like, okay, I need to slow it up. But you only get 30 minutes. Well, it was supposed to go on the reel, but it was 60 minutes. So I just could have slowed it down since I posted it on my page. But building a presence on your social media is just being consistent and posting your brand and what it is that you do on a regular basis so people can know who you are. You're trying to fill out the market, and then you're trying to get the market to know who you are and what you do. Make sense? Thank you. I'm doing well for my business, but I don't know. Oh, okay. Let me go back to her question. Oh, wait. So, let's go back to the question. Do I think it's important to have a social media presence? Yes, I think it's important to have a social media presence, because that's the thing that they're doing. But don't get lost in the social media presence, because it's everybody ain't on social media like you think they are. So have that presence as also marketing out, um, into the public, flyers, however, having a website is important, all of that. So it is important if it's helping your business. And being a content creator, is a job because you're creating content. You could be creating content for several different reasons. For me, excuse me. Thank you. Apostle Walanda, thank you so much. Um, Being a content creator is a job, and it can serve its purpose to many different things. So me being a content creator, I am creating content for people that is either beginners that need tips, sharing information, sharing my skills and techniques, um, that I have developed and learned over the years to help somebody else that may be um, stagnated in some areas, or that may be suffering in some areas, or someone is just starting out. But I create content because I love what I do and I have a passion for it. It has got me to many places. Um, I got groups on my Facebook page, and I just started just sharing what I know. You know what I'm saying? So I've been in this industry 10 plus years now. Excuse, excuse our dog. um, so to grow in the industry, because I wanted to grow in the industry, and I didn't take classes. I didn't take classes with nobody. I built my way up in this industry, showing people what I know that I can do. You know, a lot of people think I just do apples. No, I bake, I write recipes, I do it all. Um, but you got to have a balance with what you're doing. So what I did was at the time, people wanted to learn how to make treats and desserts. And I just started developing workshops and traveling. Before I started flying, I was I drove like to 7 different states. I drove to New York, New Jersey, Ohio. I drove to like the close states. Well, they wasn't too close. I drove to Louisiana. I drove to Florida. Where else did I drive to? And I had workshops. I had everything packed up in my truck and in my car. I remember I drove a rental car all the way to Louisiana. It was Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I did a 24-hour turnaround. I went there, I taught, and I left that night going back home. I don't know what I was thinking, but I had adrenaline. My kids was with me, but I was on a mission. I was on a mission, not for to, show people what I can do. It was a mission within myself. Okay. And I was building my platform, still building my platform. So you got to have a plan on what it is that you're doing. For me, it didn't happen overnight. I didn't just show up on the scene. I've been here. And through the years, I've helped develop so many different people in this industry, and they're doing great things. So, Alicia, yes, yep, Atlanta, definitely Atlanta, yep, definitely Atlanta. We had a meet and greet in Atlanta, which is under the group Divine Bacon Divas. So we have, it got some history behind it. And Alicia, I think you brought the cake that year. All right, let's see. Oh boy. So I hope that answers your question, Crystal. Cynthia. Hi, Ro. I'm just starting to make strawberries, apples, and pretzels. I'm in Georgia. Should I just apply for the cottage food license? Mm-hmm. Um, let me not say yes too quick. If this is something you're adamant about doing, I'm big on develop the skill and then move forward. You see what I'm saying? develop the skill, then move forward. Cause Georgia can be they be on you. They be on you, then they don't be on you. But I'm gonna tell you one thing about Georgia: you can start a business and grow if you stick with it. Okay, it can become something big if you stick with it. So you want to grow? Georgia is a state to grow into. You just have to build the presence. If you don't build a presence, this going back to Crystal's question, build the presence. Nobody gonna know who you are, because now in this industry, everybody's trying to get it. Everybody's trying to be seen. Everybody doing candy grapes. Everybody doing candy grapes, crack grapes. I'm telling you, that's the thing now. But the biggest question is, how long do they last? And knowing me, I'm doing another video I'm working on right now. I got the stuff laid out in the freezer, all of that stuff. But I'm doing a video on how to dip candy fruit for beginners, because I see a few people saying, but a lot of people are not mentioning that they don't last but 24 to 48 hours. If the fruit has open skin, it has a tendency to break down quick. But they're only enjoyable for 24 to 48 hours. So to keep them, if you're selling them, they have to be stored in the freezer. Okay? They don't last no longer than 24 hours. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you. Say, I ain't changed, have I? I ain't changed, have I? But it don't it, and then the recipe, it don't matter what recipe you use, it's still gonna break down. And if you double dip, don't double dip in the candy mixture thinking it's gonna last a little longer. It's still gonna break down. Water breaks down sugar. If you got more water in a recipe, it's going to break down. It's going to break down. This is not, when I created my recipe, I created it years ago. It wasn't created to be better than nobody else. I wanted my own thing. You know what I'm saying? And I was helping people at the time. It was in our group. So I see a lot of people in the industry. This is passed around. It was made to go public. That's what I wanted it to do. I was building my presence. Okay, a lot of people got it from other people because they didn't use it in their classes and so forth. It's floating around. That's what I wanted it to do. But it's so many. I'm here, but it's so many people out here now that has followed me for years, knows where the development came from. But it don't matter what recipe you use for candy grapes. They're going to break down within 24 to 48 hours. I don't care if you put the fruit wraps. Now, the fruit wraps, you will get a little longer shelf life. Probably a third day or two. But you got the fruit wrap and you got all the sugar. If you're doing the, broke down Jolly Rancher sugar on it, it's not gonna move as much as you would just dip them, but a lot of them do like a solid color. And then with the crush Jolly Ranchers, or they're crushing Jolly Ranchers, Skittles, anything that's hard that can break down in a sugar form. I even did a Sweeties, broke that down because it's a powder sugar form. Y'all know the little Sweeties. But whatever you coat it with, candy grapes is still going to break down within 24 to 48 hours if they're not properly stored in an airtight container and placed in your freezer. Okay? All right, let's go back up here. Crystal say yes, thank you. You're welcome. Shout out to Raleigh, North Carolina, North Kakalaki. Um, and you're welcome, Crystal. You're welcome, LH. And thank you again, Apostle. Um, McClendon, Apostle McClendon. Thank you so much. What does the cottage food license? What does the cottage food license for? Like, what does it entail? I never heard of that before. The cottage food laws basically governs what you can make, what you're allowed to make in your home as a home-based baker. That's it. That's it. It has a list of, like, you can't do in a lot of states, you can't do cream cheese, you can't have dairy, like a lot of dairy products, but it just basically it tells you what you can and you cannot bake, what should be and what should not be in your home. Things have to be in a certain place. You get inspections on your kitchen, and that don't mean you need to go out and buy like you can have your regular stove, your regular refrigerator. If you go get an extra refrigerator for certain foods, they just want to know where it's at, how it's stored, is it checked, is your temperatures being checked, all of this stuff like you would do if you was in a storefront or a restaurant, stuff like that. You just got to do certain things as a home baker in that particular state. And as I stated earlier, a lot of states have different requirements, but majority of the states have a cottage food law. And as a home baker, there's things that you can do and not do, whether you bake cakes, do treats, and stuff like that. In Virginia, you can't sell anything that needs to be refrigerated. And that's in a lot of states. If it needs to be refrigerated. That's like cheesecake, if it needs to be refrigerated. A lot of dry goods, if it needs to be refrigerated, you can't make it. And if it needs to be refrigerated, you're welcome. That's, once again, you can always go to a commercial kitchen. You can buy time to go to a commercial kitchen, and if you want to pick up there, so many people have ways of doing things. So it just depends on what you're selling. Where there's a will, there's a way. But when it's governed to a certain extent, you just got to work. You got to work with it, as well as putting a plan together to work around what you think is going to stop you. You're working with it, but we're going to do it this way. You understand what I'm saying? So that you can better understand, like, it shouldn't stop you from what you're doing. You just got to go another way about it. All right? Let me see. Any other questions? Still giving great. Okay. Cynthia. Okay. Roteach. Thank you, Yolanda. Roteach so well with understanding. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Any other questions? I have trouble pricing. Okay, Cynthia. I'm going to get to you. Sorry. I have trouble pricing my product. How can I make sure that the order is worth my time? Ooh, child. That's a class within itself. So, I think I'm gonna answer this question because I'm known for my phone for dying. So, with pricing your products, I never like to put a price on anybody's work because I don't on anybody's product or their work because I don't know what your work consists of. And when you price something, you need to know what the market is going for. You need to know what's the going price in your area. That's for apples. If you're doing caramel apples, what's the going price for your area. Like, who's selling in your area? Nobody's selling in your area. What's the going price in your next state or whatever? What's the going price when it comes to caramel apples? But you gotta factor in your ingredients. The ingredients, how much you spent. Um, how much you spent on those particular ingredients, which factors how to come up with your price. So if and then you got to factor in your time, you got to factor in your light and gas and all of that. And if the going price in your area is $6 for caramel apples, then you got to see where you need to. Is that something that is going to be profitable for you? But in order for you to know that, you got to know how much you spent on milk, butter, cream, whatever it is, sugar. All of those play a factor in that. And it's I have a guide that I teach off of to show people how to break down those products. But I do that, and I have done that in the academy. So I can't just say, yeah, you should charge $9 for this, $9 for that. Because it's more to that. You understand what I'm saying? So, if I can just make it plain, you got to include your ingredients, your time. If you're going to be delivering, you got to factor in, you got to point out that you have a delivery cost, but you got to factor in all your ingredients and everything else to come up with the price for your products. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a great software. I use Cake Boss software, and it allows you to input my ingredients. Then I can set my costs. Yes, that's good. Do you do one-on-one discussions? I do. And if y'all want to do a one-on-one discussion, um, I'm first of all, I have a business basics class that is amazing that I teach from top to bottom. Okay. Yeah, the package as well. You got to include the packaging, supplies, all of that, all of that. Um, if you sign up through my Facebook business page, you can register to sign up for the business basic. But to do like a one-on-one, I'm trying to utilize some of this stuff on Instagram. But for the subscription, you can ask all the questions you want personally on Instagram. If you sign up for the subscription, it's $4.99 a month. And I try to answer any questions, recipes, whatever. You get it before somebody else. Because on YouTube, I try to do like a certain video for the membership, and it's not coming up. But I'm gonna figure it out. LaShondra Blunt. Thank you. LaShondra, she in the business basic, but it's very detailed. Your Sweet Connection on Facebook. Your Sweet Connection on Facebook. You in the spirit, raw. That's how much my caramel apples is with nuts without there. No, with nuts, they $8, right? Sometimes they can be $9. It depends on how much you pay for your supplies. Your ingredients, your supplies, all of that plays a factor. Okay, okay. Yeah. My name on the is Your Sweet Connection. Okay, I think I missed somebody else. Uh, you have to buy them single. Yeah, I would get with someone. I would get with find a Easter market that sells wholesale, but like by the case. And go to the grocery store and ask them like, look, I have a business. I want to see if I can buy some cases from you. Yeah, I caught you going live. Hey, bro. Hey. Hold on, y'all. I gotta see, cause I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose, y'all. I don't want to lose you. And if I walked away, I probably did. If I walked away, I probably did. Yeah, yeah. I gotta move. I gotta move to another area. So I'm gonna end this. I hope I was able to answer a lot of your questions. Yes, thank you. I need to take that class. The business basic. If you want to take the business basic, go to my Facebook page, Your Sweet Connection. Message that page to sign up. The class is $55 and it's way more. It's worth way more than that for what I teach in there. I go over how to build business credit. I talk about how to start your business. I help with writing your business plan. Um, oh, ooh, what else is in there, LaShonda? What else is in there, Linda? There's so much stuff in there. Um, how to fill out your articles of organization. I go over the tiers, the tier ones, the tier two, and how to build your business credit. Vendors, vendors. How to trade with China. Whew. Anything that you may have a question for, it's in Business Basic. I made the candied kiwi, and the kids loved them. Great job. Hello from Mississippi. So glad I caught you live. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. I'm getting ready to end it in a few. Yes, thank you. I need to take that class. Thank you. You're welcome, Crystal. Um, yeah. So I'm getting ready to shut it down again. If you have any questions, comment down below. And I can answer them accordingly. But thank you all for tuning in. And I hope I can find Louis Lemon. She has that platinum package. And she actually rejoined 6 days ago. So I hope you were able to get in the academy.